by the end of the year that you two were on the same page. How do you kind of translate all of that, not just quarterback, but just sort of the whole team into the next year you go into this program?
Yeah, I was really impressed. Sometimes at the end of the year when things are going well and you end on a higher note, there could be a lull when you get back in the summer and in the fall. And the guys, the energy has been really good. Our seniors are excited. The junior class is really excited. Everybody's kind of like that. Oh, they're always excited at the beginning of the year, but what are they playing like? We've been playing much faster. So practice has gone by really fast, and the kids' energy is good. So that communicates to me that there's some excitement.
And talking about playing fast, based on the interview you did with Chris Parker, who also at the Ozone, I think you guys want to play faster just overall this year, right? I think what you said was that maybe you don't have the line that some of the teams in the area have, but you certainly have the athletes out here, and we see that in every sport. How do you kind of turn that vision into a reality this season?
That's a good point. You got to really coach it, and you got to, coach every detail. And so it's a little bit shift from last year, and not so much last year, but when I was at Willard, we were much, let's snap the ball with 7 seconds left on the play clock. And so just trying to spread the field out and get our athletes the ball, because they all want the ball. If you're a confident athlete, you want the ball in your hands in any sport. And so we want to try to keep those athletes happy, right? They want to be excited to play on Friday nights because they know they're going to show out. So we got to try to keep that going.
And going back to Cash, the athletes around him, that kind of, it makes it all go. It starts with him, obviously. What are the strides he's taken this year? And can you also talk about just some specific guys, skilled guys that you think are going to make an impact?
Yeah, Cash is going to really grow just letting the play happen and develop instead of trying to force it. And that's, as a matter of fact, in practice tonight, that's one of the things we're really harping on is just, what's open, and let's take the easy thing and let our athletes do the job. But Joel Rover is a 3-sport athlete that I think a lot of people in the community know him as a basketball player. I think he's going to be a really good football player this year in his junior and senior year. Trevor led us in receptions, Trevor Heeman, and he's a solid kid. Jake and Seats is another athlete that we have that is a basketball guy. Cameron Richardson, same way. And those guys have just been quiet confidence. They're not loud going, trying to draw attention to themselves on social media. They're just solid kids that are going to have really good years.
And, you talk about not drawing attention to yourself. I feel like that's kind of tough to do in the area, too. There's so many, obviously you go 15 minutes south, you got the number 1 player in the nation, you got a lot of high-end recruits in this area. But as you mentioned, I think this school has some of the best athletes as well. Is that kind of the goal this year, is to not, maybe market yourself, but let the play on the field do that for you?
Yeah, in this day and age, everything, in social media, you can get your name out there and your brand out there. And we talked in our meeting yesterday, it's people want to see what you do and they don't want to hear about what you do. And so you got to demonstrate it, Potential is really nothing. We want production. And so what are we going to do?
Totally. And then as far as what you guys think you kind of need to round into shape as you go towards week 1 right now, what's that looking like?
Well, we've got a lot of youth in our lines. And anywhere in football, that it's won in the trenches. I've been really impressed with our development in our offense and defensive line, and that's kind of what we're really wanting to see grow exponentially. We just don't want to grow. We want to grow exponentially in our offense and defensive line. But we've got some younger guys that have really put the work in the weight room, so they're more confident, and so I think they'll produce for us.
And then up on the board there's a standard over feelings. I think I know what that means, but can I get it in your words, kind of what that means when you apply it to these guys?
Man, that's just, we want a discipline level. I harp on him all the time of a man his life's not dictated by feelings. That's a child. What we want to do is be men of discipline. And kudos to our students for getting that on the board. We got some really, really gifted students at Glendale too.
Awesome. Anything else when we talk about the Falcons in general this year, a storyline we should know about or something you just kind of want to touch on that we haven't talked about yet?
Yeah, I think it's cool that, 3 of our players' dads are coaching. It's kind of interesting, Cam Bellamy is a good player for us, and his dad is our defensive back coach. And then Joel Heeman, his son Trevor, is playing for us and is our leading receiver, and he's our offensive coordinator and was the head coach here back about a decade ago. So kind of cool. It is kind of a family atmosphere. I try to build that, and then we also have it, like, biologically, too. So
it's easier when it's that way. You got the connections right there. Anything else I missed? Anything else you want to talk about?